In this video, I'm going to show you the completed display. Actually demonstrate to you how the pins actually jump up and down. I've removed the cams because those are not necessary. Cams restrict the movement to actuation to one column at a time, so I've removed them. What I've done is I've enabled all columns. These columns are all enabled over here, as you can see. The movement, if you look at this first column, it's completely enabled. There's a little bit of movement over there. You can see in the bottom right corner of the screen is just that 0.5 millimeter gap over here that opens and closes. That indicates a closed or latched column. This is an open or unlatched column. So right now all the columns are open, so that any pin can be enabled in any order, any row, any line. So what I'm going to show you is, now I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Watch the penny drop. All the pins are basically down. Now I'll actuate this bottom row so that it kicks up the pins by 0.5 millimeter, and you can see that it's enough to stop the penny from sliding. Now I'm going to actually zoom in so that you can get to see the pins, a real close-up of the pins jumping up and down. So as I zoom in, I need to give it some time to refocus. Okay, I think we can see that's the top row of pins. They fall by gravity, but since I've tilted the display, the gravity is not doing a very good job. So okay, now all the pins are down. I'm going to actuate this line by line over here. That is three rows to a cell. This is the topmost cell, top line. I'm going to actuate that line. Watch the pins jump up. All the pins up, all the pins down, all the pins up. Now I'll do it for the second. I'm keeping that line up. I'm doing for the second and third. So now if you can see, all the cells in this top line are up. There seems to be one that's stuck over there, but that doesn't really matter. It's not somewhere there. Okay, there. That one's a little stuck. It's a little lower than normal, but if you can see, all the pins are up. I'll do it for the second line of cells. I'll do all three rows together. I'm pressing with my finger all three rows. I'm doing for all the cells now. If you can see now, I've got all the pins up in the entire display. I can zoom out slowly so that you can see. Okay, that's the display. Now, how I control that is, you can see the pins now. I think we should be able to zoom in at an angle and show you. Okay, I think you can see the pins fairly clearly here. Okay, I think if I drop the pins on this row closest to the camera, you can see it fairly clearly jumping up. Okay, that's using gravity, so some of them are not falling properly, but that's more than amply evident that they can have the ability to control the whole lot of pins. Okay, now I'm going to zoom back out slowly. That's there. Drop the pins. Now what I've used in this case is NOT logic. That is, all the columns are enabled, and that way I can trigger all the entire row of pins at a time. In actual practice, all the columns would be disabled, and only the column that is being set with data will be enabled, or would be enabled rather. And so what happens is, if in that particular condition, I'll show you this first Okay, we're going to latch the first column, first two columns I'll latch, or I'll do every first column of every cell. I'm going to latch them. So you can see this, the latching over here. The gap indicates that it's latched shut. This is latched shut, and then that one is latched shut. That one is latched shut. There's just that 0.5 millimeter gap over there, the little crescent shaped thing. So when I trigger it, the first pins of those particular columns are disabled. I think you can see them over here. This one, this one, this one. The entire column is basically disabled. So although I'm actuating all the things, those latched columns are latched, so the pins don't really move in those latched columns. If you look carefully, it's just the first column of each cell. This one, and that one, and that one. These first 4 cells, they are latched shut. You can see them here. This indicates the latch shut. This gap here, gap here, gap here, gap here. Now I can the pins that are already raised, I can latch them shut in the raised position. For instance, the second set of pins over here in the second column, they are open, but I can latch them in the open condition so that they don't fall. And we'll unlatch the pins in the first columns. So I've latched basically now the second column of the first cell, and I'll latch this second column of the second cell and the second column of the third cell. So in whatever position the pins were at the time of latching, they'll remain in that position. So I think you can see the second column, the entire column was latched. So the second column is latched with the pins in the raised position. All the rest of the pins have dropped. You can see them, they dropped. So basically what I'm demonstrating is basically that you have the ability to latch any column, any pin in any column, and actuate any pin in any column. Basically the column is set one column at a time. So the data word is in this case 5 lines of 3 rows each. That is the 15-bit data word. So the data word would set a column, you'd set a column of data at a time, that is a half cell at a time. Enable the column, set the data, and then latch the column again. Then move to the second column, like in this case, and watch what happens when I enable the column to that would basically allow the pins to drop. In this case, this is the second column, and then all the pins are latched. Have you saw them? They all dropped. I'll do it for this column here. This column of pins, I can drop them whole lot just by toggling the column. See this set of pins, I can drop them by just enabling the column, it'll drop. So that's basically how you can control pins in every row and column on this display, and it's made to actual scale and size. You can see the 1 cent fellow. I'll give him a. You can see the force with which the pins actually are toggled. They literally cause the penny to jump up and down. Watch that. Got him to flip over there. That's something that I don't think any other design has the ability to kick up with so much force.